the tempo in which you work your frog, once you get it in there where it needs to be, are we going to run it out of there really quick? Probably not. It's, again, late fall, almost Christmas time, maybe past Christmas time, or we're working on that early part of the year as these bass are getting ready to, they're going to start spawning. Some February, late February, first part of March, depending on where you're at in the country, right? A lot of these bass, once they, if you have a bass, let me put it to you this way. Just because it's wintertime doesn't mean all the bass in the lake are in 27 feet of water. Nope, lots of bass love to be in less than 2 or 3 feet of water all year long. They're like people. Some people like to live in San Francisco. Some people like to live in Texas. I understand that. Bass are the same way as people. They're all different. Most are the same. Most have similar tendencies, but you have those groups that are kind of the renegades. They will kind of be a little different than everybody else. Those are the ones I like. Awesome. Especially with frogs in the wintertime. You know, tempo is so key. Once you get that frog where it needs to be, we're going to take our time getting it out of there. Most of my big frog bites, especially my big frog bites, my 3-pound frog bites, my 5-pound frog bites, my 9-pound frog bite, whatever it may be, whether it's January, March, July, October, or November, most of my big frog bites come within, realistically, about that far of where that frog landed. And I make a good pitch. Let it sit for 2-3 seconds. The first thing I do every time that frog gets to where I want it to be and I put it in there the way that I needed to put it in there, the first thing I do is bob the nose. And I get a lot of big bites that way. She's up inside there. She's up in the jungle. She's tucked back up inside. You get that frog. You butter that frog up in there.
Oh my God.
That frog's sitting there.
Wow, I hope that got that.
You butter that frog up in there. It's up where you want it to be. You put it in there nice and tight, and it might be, I want to throw this frog wherever I think she's at, or he's at. Right where I think they're at. Got a lay down right here that disappears into the water. It comes out of the surface, and I can see where it disappears. It disappears into about 12, 14 inches of water. I think that's probably where that joker is, where it comes in, the surface of the water's right here, that log goes in. She's probably in here someplace, where there's that gap between the bottom and the bottom of that log. So that's my target. I'm throwing towards that log, maybe hit that log, pull it in, or just, whew.
Awesome.
So this guy's going to land right here next to this log. This guy right here got her attention because I buttered it in there. Something just fell out of that tree. She comes out, you don't know it. But this is where your mind's eye really has to take over. You have got to see this without having a camera underwater. You got to see it. Your mind's eye is very key here. Whew. You have to visualize that bass, she's 3, 5, 6 pounds, she knows that frog just landed, and her nose is right here. And the first thing that you're going to do is just bob the nose. Ooh, that's when I get a lot of them big bites like I'm talking about. Because that thing will land. You can't see it, but in your mind's eye, you can. She's right there. She's got her nose right on the tassel, right on those tassels of that frog. And she's just wondering if that thing's still alive. She's looking at it, just a bob nose. Ooh, reaction bite. Big time. Awesome. You will never miss that fish. You will never miss that fish. If you miss that fish, it's on you. Period. That fish right there is a full-blown eat job, and she's never going to miss that bait.
Oh my gosh, there's a giant. There's a big one. Oh man, that's a big one. Look at that thing. That's a big one, boys and girls. December frog fishing. Oh my gosh, look at the size of this thing. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Oh,
I'll tell you what, that was absolutely epic right there. That was awesome. That right there is how to catch frogfish in December. December 6th. And that's American Bait Works getting that frog right. Oh my gosh, they got it right, boy. Woo. That's exciting. That was so cool. Let me tell you the key. So it's December 6th. I've been throwing that frog for about, I don't know, for off and on for about 2 hours. Did some crankbait stuff earlier. Fished for crappie, of course. And this is the deal. Water temperature was, it started at 49.7, 50 and a half. It got up to 52. 2.5 degree, that's a positive, right? Had a nice kind of air temperature today, got up to about maybe 59, 60. And that water temperature warmed up 2 degrees. That's all it takes. Off-colored water, and the fish are going to be shallow, but you got to throw it with a lot of discipline. Yeah, there's lots of other ways to be more effective and be more efficient with catching numbers and maybe size, but when you get, like I said the other day, when you get bit in 52 to 58 degree water with a frog, there's no mistake. Yep, that's a bite. Oh, that's how they ate it, because it was epic. It was awesome. You got to fish it at the right tempo. And just doing a little bit of December frog fishing for you. If that fish doesn't eat on the first initial nose bob, then I start a nice slow walk out of there. If it's summertime, if it's late spring, or if you got some clouds coming in, a little bit of breeze, you can tell things are just escalated. The tempo is escalated. I can tell there's an activity window going on here. If that's what's happening, then I pitch it in there, nose bob, bop, 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 and then I'll race it out of there. Or pitch it in there. Boy, most of the time, that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to pitch it in there, sit, nose bob, nice slow walk out of there. And the thing is, I'm only going to walk that frog, realistically, 3 to 6 feet. Probably 3 to 6 feet. A lot of times I'm going to walk up 2 feet, hustle it in, and get it right back up into the next spot. Sit, nose bob, nice easy walk, 2, 3, 4 feet, hustle it in, and throw again, or pitch again, or sidearm throw. There's different ways there's different techniques you can use to get that frog where it needs to be. They all don't have to. I don't like throwing a frog overhand unless I'm fishing lily pads or matted grass. All the rest of the time when I'm throwing a frog, it's usually pitch, the Circle S,
Oh, that was awesome.
or a sidearm throw, a sidearm skip.
Oh, that was a bite, boy. That was a bite right there now. Whoa.
That's usually how I get it done. And I don't care if it's wintertime, springtime, fall, summer, it don't matter. If you have the juice, if you have the confidence to catch bass on this guy right here, that's the first key. That's the first part of being successful that day, is right here. If you think you can do it right here, you probably can. The opportunities you're gonna get when it's doing this kind of stuff, maybe not very many. Doesn't mean you can't catch them doing this. And especially leading up to right before it starts doing this kind of stuff. Okay? If that water temperature is, let's be real, 48, if that water temperature is 48 to 52, you're in the game. Okay? Usually your afternoons are gonna almost always be better. Some days you might start and the water temperature is 49, 50, 51. It might get up to 52, 53 in the late afternoon. That might be your window. That might be when this whole thing goes down. You might throw all day long. It starts getting dark at 6 o'clock. You might not get your first bite till 3 o'clock. And you look down, you go, oh man, when I put the boat on the water this morning, it was 48.5. It was 48.5, 49. It's 53 right now. Oh. And the thing is, when them bass, when you get bit, let me back up. I'm getting jacked up right here. My favorite water temperature for frog fishing, my absolute favorite, is 52 to 58. When the water temperature is climbing, 52, 58, or when it's going down, this time of the year. When it drops from that 65, 62, 61, gets to 59, I'm not talking about where it's 65, have a cold front, and then all of a sudden it's 58 tomorrow. I'm talking about where it's 52 to 58 for an extended period of time. That's where the temperature is. That's where it's been. They start to acclimate to that. They start to get comfortable with that. And when the water's 52 to 58, they're either getting ready for hibernation or they're getting ready for the prom. Both periods of time are very key. For bass, eating, right? They want to eat going into the wintertime. They know the water's going to get cold. Their metabolism is going to slow way down. So they gorge. And that 52 to 58, I'll tell you what, when you get bit on a frog in 52 to 58, it ain't this. Oh, she hit it with her tail. It is a full-blown jackpot. Okay? Very, very cool. My least favorite temperature with a frog, day in and day out overall, is 59 to 61, 62, where it stays right in there, because they're either spawning, which you can still catch them with this spawn. We'll get into that later.
Oh, get him, big one.
But it's not their priority. So that's when you get a lot of misses, rolls. Oh, she just grabbed the tassels and pulled it up. Oh, she moved it that far and I missed. Oh, she didn't have it. Oh, I need to put more treble hooks on. No, don't do that. They either get it or they don't. Bottom line. They're either eating it or they're not. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's been great talking to you guys about frog fishing. You know, when most guys put it away. It can still be done. There are other techniques that are probably a little more productive, I guess you could say. But hey, if you're a goofy frog guy like me, there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to ever really put this away. But again, there's many days, different times of the year where it's way more productive. But I'm telling you what, you can have some phenomenal days with this little guy right here when that water temperature is, like I said, in that, realistically, in that 50 to 58. Oh my goodness. Don't put it away. Bobby Barrack from Bobby Barrack's Bass Class. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's what keeps us going. I'll talk to you folks after a while.